What's going on, guys? So, wow, the past 2 days, internet's been lighting up with the SIG Sauer debacle. Swear to God, dude, if you drop it.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
Too soon.
In all seriousness, like, it's kind of a big thing.
It is. I think it's everybody's fear with striker-fired pistols or just carrying a gun in general.
Yep.
But
And that's where you come from, your whole thing of, loving the wheel guns and me loving striker fires.
oh yeah,
I don't even know where to really begin with this. I mean, we saw the video that was released by Omaha Outdoors, and they brought a lot of great points to life, and they obviously did some drop testing of their own, and
they did some great drop testing. To be honest with you, I mean, very valid points.
The numbers spoke.
Oh yeah,
and that's what's really scary about that. And the first thing that I really want to bring up is, the firearm standards that you're looking at with the drop test. I mean, they have obviously and we're not going to drop it, the drop is straight down like this, and the drop where the bore axis is facing straight down.
Right.
So why wouldn't you look at having a drop happen like this? I mean, is that completely out of the possibility that would ever happen?
Anything's possible.
I mean,
realistically,
you're talking about gravity, you're talking about physics, you're talking about a loaded magazine. I mean, there's got to be some weight to it, which might make it fall down that way.
Exactly.
Why is that something that's overlooked for any of the firearms?
Agreed.
That kind of blows my mind. And obviously with them in the military contract and the outbidding, Glock this, Glock that, and it's like, I mean, I'm not partial at all. But I mean, I would hope that Glocks wouldn't do that. I would hope that the the M&P Shields or 2.0s or H&K, like all these other firearms, wouldn't have that problem.
Right.
So, and here's this is kind of like, breaking news for me at least, and I just shared this, and we'll have, the actual picture come up, but, being a firearms dealer, I got this blast message that was sent out from one of the PR contacts for SIG Sauer, stating that, like, hey guys, we really screwed up, and we're going to fix it, but there's nothing in this document that says how. All it says is coming soon, August 14th.
So we got to wait till August 14th on their website, correct? Is that what we
Yeah,
read?
it says that you can check out what, the details of the program. From what I'm understanding, this is a voluntary thing where you can kind of just turn it into them, and they'll kick it back to you where they're going to install the different trigger or whatever it might be.
Right. I think so. It's a good start. It really sucks to see. I mean, I really love the P320s. I think they're great pistols. I really do. And I mean, it's not going to stop me from going out to the range and shooting my X5. That's for sure. But it's disappointing. It's really disheartening, to see something like this happen. But
yeah, and I mean, for the most part, I think they're owning up to it. I mean, it took them 2 days to culminate a response, and I'm obviously not expecting something in the first 10 minutes to come out and say, hey, we're fixing the entire design of our trigger or whatever is going to happen with this.
I mean, you can't, that stuff doesn't happen in just 2 days. I mean, the internet exploded.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll pop some memes up there for you, man. They're brutal, but they're pretty hilarious. And I mean, you're going to see that happen with other companies. I mean, you saw the whole thing with Alien Gear holsters or Alienware and like all these other ones.
Yeah.
Alien Gear.
Yeah.
They're already out of my mind at this point.
I know, right?
But
I think, what are your thoughts? Do you think this is something that's going to blow over? I mean, if they fix this, which they intend to, will it blow over with the community, or do you think it's going to leave a bad taste, kind of like what Ruger did in the past? I mean, is it always going to just be there?
I really don't know. I mean, this could be like a make or break thing. I mean, obviously SIG is a very popular, well-known firearm, and we pump a lot of mouth firearm story here. It's a go-to.
Right. Oh yeah.
Especially when the RX came out, they had their their modular optic systems put onto it. I mean, that was a huge seller, and it was hard for me to even keep them in stock or get an allocation for them. But I think that they really need to do this right, and they need to do it right the first time. If they don't, there's going to be a lot of blowover. I mean, this is already going to law enforcement, military.
I know.
And this might be nitpicking, but the thing that I did read on the the document that was brought up here that kind of wasn't okay with me was they said, as a result of input from law enforcement, government, and military customers, SIG has developed this number of enhancements and functions, blah, 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 blah. Nowhere does it say anything about the general consumer.
Yeah, I mean, what about us? I mean, you know,
are they really just focusing on those multi-billion-dollar contracts, or having these police departments buying them up in droves, or do they really care about someone like you and I that has purchased this pistol?
Exactly.
I think it should have been a well-encompassed thing, and that's me nitpicking.
Right.
I know that's kind of, but I think that they should encompass everyone. I mean, everyone is affected that owns a SIG P320.
I mean, it's going to be a huge inconvenience for the average Joe to, pack up, probably go to his FFL, right, and then send it back out.
And if what we see for August 14th is true, where they're actually taking these back on the house and reinstalling the trigger for lighter weight.
And I have no idea what they're going to do.
How long is that going to take? I mean,
Right.
Are we talking about like a customer that is first time that has only ever owned one firearm?
Right.
How long are they without their carry pistol?
Right.
Or are
It's
they
a
using
major
these for full
inconvenience,
size
yeah.
for competition? How long are you not able to compete? Do you have to get something else in the meantime? That's a really tough pill to swallow, I think, for the 2A community.
Yeah.
And I really haven't seen much being on an apologetic level.
Right.
I mean, in all honesty, I don't think a lot of people have seen the the document that we're going to put up here. Just because being a civilian, you're not seeing the dealer programs. And
Yeah,
hey,
you're not gonna be a
stop
dealer,
selling
you
these
know what I
SIGs
mean?
at the store for now.
Right.
And that's what Omaha said. They're going to stop carrying the SIG P320s.
Or at least selling it until this blows
until it
over.
blows
Until
over.
it's
And that's
problem's
what I'm going
fixed.
to have to do as well, because in good faith, I mean, it's going to happen.
You can't be liable. I mean, I look at it that way. I mean, it sucks, but at the same time,
Yet some of you gun dealers are still pushing High Point.
It does suck that the P320 has become such a meme. I mean, today was brutal. I woke up and looked at my phone, scrolling through Instagram, and I just sat there laughing, drinking my coffee.
They're
It's like,
clever though. I mean, it's like I don't know. I thought they were awesome.
I
but,
did too.
But like I said, in all seriousness, I mean, you can poke fun at it, but it's a very serious issue. I mean,
It is.
I mean, I kid you not. I've had somebody, purchase a firearm, go through the background check, super excited to get it home, and they drop it in the parking lot. Drops happen.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss to say that I've never dropped a firearm. I've gotten very lucky with it, and it and it was a Glock, but I mean, it happens.
Right.
You really can't predict, and that's a serious flaw.
Right.
So I mean, I obviously haven't. I mean, we wanted to pump this video out just to kind of like bring to light in case people are still not.
Yeah, this wasn't rehearsed or anything.
Yeah,
It was just
knowing
kind
what's
of, we were
going on.
standing here talking in the shop, and it was like, he got the email, and we're like, we have to get a video
Yeah.
done on this just to say that, something is coming for
We are
everybody.
taking proactive steps. It should be a little bit more public, I think, and obviously this stuff will be everywhere.
This is in the next 24 hours, it's going to be. Yeah.
Absolutely, but I mean, there really is no clean-cut fix, and just like Omaha's video. We will actually run the Omaha's full video that you can see, like hear all the audio, and we'll keep the links up there so you guys can get exactly what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But a brief overview is, they're saying, the triggers being lighter weight for some of the flat triggers
Almost
versus the
30%.
curved.
Yeah. Well, if they would lighten the curved trigger, they're saying it would.
They lightened it by what? Like it was almost 60% or
36, 30%. Yeah. So.
That it stopped the the premature.
Right. The flat trigger doesn't potentially stop it. I know with the X5s, they weren't running into the problem, but they were putting the X5 trigger, the flat trigger,
Yeah, they're
like we
swapping
have right
everything out.
here, on all the other models of the P320.
And it dropped it down to almost 10%, and then when they
10% still not good.
No, absolutely not. But then they dropped the weight even more, and out of 50 drop tests, they said it was non-existent. It wasn't an issue anymore. But I don't feel comfortable with a 1 in 50 shot. I'd rather see them drop it from numerous locations, numerous settings, different variants,
It's
thousands of times. Like there needs to be like actual data and proof coming out.
Yeah, and I mean it's a machine. It's going to malfunction. Heaven forbid it never happens to you, but it could potentially happen. You know what I mean? There is room for that very small margin of error.
I agree with that. But I mean, we're talking about a machine. We're talking about millions of tolerances.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't happen.
Right.
And
Big
of course,
oversight
it
on
starts
SIG's
bringing
part,
back the
yeah.
stigma of striker fire pistol. This can happen. Well, I mean, if it happened as frequently as people have the stigma or claim
Yeah.
it could be, I mean, it would be all over the news. I mean, I think the second that Glock or Smith & Wesson would have one of those misfires, it would be everywhere, and
Right.
they'd never live it down. So this kind of brings a bad connotation to the striker fires again, and now you're going to see a resurgence of the revolver guys coming out.
I know, right?
Yes, I mean, that's our thought, and I just, we wanted to bring it more to light and, show that they avidly are going to be doing something, so stay tuned for their release on their webpage.
Yeah, we'll even try and get a reaction video up of just, reacting to, what SIG offers us. I'm excited. I really am. So I've got this awesome competition pistol here that, if I drop it,
I mean,
not gonna
SIG,
take
if you
first.
guys are watching this, if you want to give me a free pistol, I can kind of start. No, I'm kidding. No,
We don't play
seriously.
like that.
No, we definitely want to see some changes in a proactive manner and make sure that, you know, this is going to be a safe pistol, especially for me being a firearms company. I want to make sure that I'm giving something that's safe.
Right.
That's the biggest, you know, gripe and, you know, thing for me with customers is making sure they're walking out with something that's not just going to, you know, go off in their pocket. You know, they drop it,
Drop
and
it,
shoot
goes
themselves
off,
in the
yeah.
leg. It's scary. It's a very serious thing. So I
Mhm.
really hope that this company, I hope SIG takes it seriously and
Right.
and really pumps out something good for their consumers, for law
Agreed.
enforcement, military, and regular civilians like us.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Hopefully not any more of pistols dropping, but
Fact.
we enjoy doing these videos.
Hi, I'm Andrew with Omaha Outdoors. In the past couple of weeks, we released 2 reviews of the P320 from SIG, one of the X5 and one of the full-size TAC Ops. I recommended these pistols very highly because they performed very well in all of our tests. In the last week, we became aware of rumors on the internet that the P320 would fire if it were dropped. We decided to test this ourselves. While we were conducting our testing, SIG released a statement saying that the P320 was drop safe, and the Dallas Police Department, which had previously suspended the use of the P320 by its officers, said it was putting the pistol back into service after its concerns were alleviated. We have been in communication with SIG about the results of our drop testing, and we are now ready to release the results to you. It should be noted that the P320 will pass all of the commercial, industry, and government drop tests that we're aware of. All of these drop tests require that the pistol be dropped with the bore axis perpendicular to or parallel to, in some fashion, the ground or the surface which the P320 is being dropped. We found in our testing that the P320 will fire if it is dropped at a certain angle. This angle is not found in any of the previously mentioned drop tests. If the pistol is allowed to drop with the bore in an upward direction and the frame and the slide contact the ground at the same time, the trigger continues to move to the rear and the pistol will fire. We found this result was consistent across calibers, frame sizes, and even different types of ammunition, from duty ammunition from major manufacturers, which supply the majority of the U.S. law enforcement market, to range ammunition and match ammunition. All of these, when dropped at the right angle, would result in uncommanded firing of the pistol. Three of these pistols, of the 4 that we tested, would fire when dropped. 3 of these pistols had also been previously torture tested. However, they were not the same 3 pistols. These 2 pistols, which had previously been torture tested, would fire when dropped. One of the pistols had been torture tested to a more extreme degree than either of these 2 combined, and it would not fire when dropped. And one pistol had not been torture tested, yet it would fire when dropped. The differentiating factor, we believe, is the weight of the trigger. The one pistol which would not fire when dropped, even though we dropped it so much that the beaver tail broke off, was the P320 X5. The P320 X5, you see the frame here, beaver tail broken, has a lighter trigger than the other P320s. It is a flat trigger. This flat trigger does not have a reinforcement on the back side, whereas these P320s have a bit of a reinforcement inside, and as a result, they weigh 6% more than this flat trigger. This might not sound like much, but when we took this trigger and put it in one of the other pistols, which would previously fire practically every time it was dropped at that angle, the uncommanded firings dropped to less than 10%. When we further reduced the weight of a stock curved trigger by about 30% compared to the original, we practically eliminated, in fact we did eliminate, in over 50 drops, we did not see a single uncommanded firing. That pistol, as previously noted, would fire practically every time when dropped at that angle. By no means am I saying this is the only solution to this problem, and without further testing, it's impossible to say if this is even a correct solution for the problem. It simply appears to be one at this time. Another option would be for SIG to install the tab trigger safety, which they already developed when they introduced the pistol, on all P320s. We believe that SIG should not only have an interest, but also a responsibility to look into the possibility of reducing the weight of the P320 trigger, among other possible solutions, to reduce or eliminate this extremely rare but still possible occurrence of drop firing. We think the P320 is a fantastic handgun. We've sold thousands of them over the years. In the wake of our very positive reviews, we expected to sell thousands more. However, until SIG addresses this issue and fixes the problem, we will be suspending sale of the P320 at Omaha Outdoors.